Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Joyce Hudnall, who is General Chair of the Constitution Committee for the Louisville Festival coming up, and Mayor Pat Fallett, who is Mayor of Louisville, and just a number of other things, both of them. Very involved ladies. This is, as you mentioned, all focused around Constitution Week because there's got to be more awareness made, you believe, about the Constitution of our country, yes?
We think so. It would be nice. This is a time to remind people. It would be nice if we could keep that going the whole year round. But at least we have this opportunity to say, hey, folks, we're under a Constitution here. This is something that's dear to us, and we should always remember how important it is to our country.
Sets us apart. What date is Constitution Day?
September 17th.
I think some people do
Every
not
year.
know that. Yes, it's one of those things that some are surprised to find out that there is a Constitution Day.
Generally, and I think Pat will speak to this, we've had the commemoration naturalization on the 17th. That's the actual day. So the commemoration's always been. Unfortunately, this year, the 17th on a Saturday. Well, we have always had this at the middle school, and the 7th and 8th graders are invited to attend, so the auditorium is packed. So we did move the commemoration to Friday so that we could include all the young people. And I must say, they are very attentive to this.
Let's talk about naturalization ceremony. How wonderful that is incorporated into this celebration. Anyone who has not ever attended one of those needs to.
It was very interesting. In 2010, we were discussing about our commemoration, and I talked to the Common Pleas judge at that time and asked if there would be a chance that we could do a naturalization ceremony in Louisville, not strictly just for Louisville people that's coming into our country, but just to do the celebration. Because until you are involved with that, which we have been involved with at other years in Canton, to see that, it's so touching, so touching to see these citizens. I believe in 2014 we had 30 new citizens come to become into our country, and to see their facial expression when they came into our auditorium, our student body all stood up and applauded them to come in. They were in awe. And we put them up on the stage, and they just were so serious about this. And at that time, Judge Heath did the oath and talked a little bit about the naturalization and asked some of the new citizens to say what brought them here.
What were some of those answers?
Some of their answers was education. Some of them was working. Some of them was love.
Of course.
They found someone and they wanted to become a part of our country. And last year we did have somebody that lived in Louisville, has been in Louisville for over 20-some years, was a Canadian citizen, and decided she thought it was time to become a United States citizen. So, of course, I knew them from being in Louisville. But it's so touching to watch them. And as Joyce said, you could hear a pin drop in that auditorium.
Well,
the student body was so excited about seeing something like that. And it's not a short process. It is a very long process, a very costly process. And then they say we take the citizenship for granted because if we had to take that test, a lot of us would not pass it.
There you go. I would love to throw this out to you as well. Wouldn't it be a good idea for all of us, before we're allowed to vote, as they are allowed to vote, to be able to pass some kind of a test?
Absolutely.
Such
You're
as
right.
they go
Yes.
through.
Absolutely.
Yes. It'd be a wake-up call.
Wouldn't it?
would
There's
to-
so many freedoms that we take for granted,
Oh,
and I think
my.
we see this when our young people go to other countries and make the assumption that they're going to get treated the same legally and so forth as they are here, and they have a real big wake-up call.
Right.
Kind of,
Absolutely.
I'm not in the United States of America, not in Kansas anymore.
Right. That's
That's
correct.
right.
That's correct.
Yeah, very interesting. And what was the response of the young people there? Because I think they must have had great respect for these people who have come who honestly have denounced their own natural-born
Yes,
citizenship
yes,
to become an American
Right.
citizen.
I think the greatest tribute to them is that they're quiet.
Yeah.
They're very quiet. They're listening. I think they just become fascinated that they're drawn to what is being said and who these people are. And the fact that the auditorium is very quiet, I think, is a great tribute. We know that they're listening and paying
They're thinking
attention.
about it, and perhaps even maybe
Yeah.
appreciating what they've been born into.
Right.
Quite amazing. All right, may anyone attend this naturalization
Yes, the
ceremony?
public is invited. It usually starts at 12:30. We have to work around lunch hours with the school because we do open up the part where the cafeteria is, so we have plenty of seating. But the public is more welcome to attend it. We start at 12:30, and it's usually over by about 1:15 at the latest.
And the date this will be?
This will be on September the 16th. It'll be on a Friday this year because of our 17th falls on a Saturday. And we talked about our student body. Last year we asked if there were children in the student body, if they knew any of their grandparents or parents were citizens that came into our country. We did have some students stand up because they knew that their grandparents had done this same thing to become citizens. It was just amazing to see across the auditorium how many children were aware of that.
And that's what's so cool about our country is we are all from somewhere else.
Right.
This is truly the salad bowl of lots
Right.
and lots of nations,
Right.
each maintaining their own unique culture within our shared culture of
Yes.
being Americans.
Yes.
And that does give you an extra sense of pride, doesn't it?
Well, yes. And, we talked about diversity, Louisville, and with being diversity. And I think this is one way we can show that we accept everyone. It doesn't make any difference, the color of the skin, the nationality. You are welcome in Louisville, Ohio.
It is that kind of a place.
Yes, it
it's
is.
a very welcoming hometown to
Yes.
be.
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
You mentioned there's a special choir presentation on September 11th, and just thinking that this is the anniversary, the 15th anniversary of the attack. That seems hard to believe, doesn't it?
Yes,
Yes,
it does.
it does.
15
Yes, it
years
does.
since then.
Yes,
That means there are a number of young people who were not born yet.
that's correct.
What kinds of things are you doing on September 11th to be able to recognize? Will the choir, will the presentation have something related to that?
We are doing this year, our theme for the community choir is not the same as the Constitution Week. Our theme is We Will Never Forget. And in our concert, we do a variety of music. We do popular, we do sacred, but we always end up with patriotic. And we are so pleased. We do it out of what it's called Justice for All. And we do selections out of that, and that will be our time that we can do and talk about the 9/11 event. It's amazing because it's hard to believe 9/11, I was still working in the county auditor's office when that happened.
Yeah.
And I remember it going through that whole office building about the Twin Towers being hit
Yeah.
and the Pentagon being hit. It just, you were in awe. I mean, you were awe. And this is something we cannot forget what happened that day.
I think one of the greatest things is we become active with the
First
the group
responder.
that's the
Combat vets.
combat vets.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was having trouble with that. And they, this group in particular, are trying to help homeless vets, and we have no idea. I mean, there's many homeless vets. It's so sad. So, and this group tries to find them places to live, fill their homes with things they need to exist and everything. And this particular group are motorcycle guys. Nicest
Who have huge
bunch.
hearts.
Oh,
Absolutely.
nicest bunch of men.
So
and
polite.
they actually lead this processional. We don't like to call it parade, processional. And last year we must have had
We had over 100 cars and fire
50
trucks.
and fire trucks from all over. Our fire department and our police department got different group to come in from other cities and everything. And I expect that to be probably bigger this year, if anything. And it starts at the west end of town and goes east and ends up at the park. So there's a long processional there, and it just takes your breath away, you know.
And we have a program up in the park for that.
Yeah.
And we do the luminaries for either in memory or in honor of veterans as well as first responders. And we did that last year, and we had a good turnout for that.
And this will all take place when?
It's Sunday on the 11th.
This is also
on the 11th.
September 11th. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the things that we have had the last few years is Rock the Park.
Oh, yes.
I'm sure you're aware of that.
We're going to be covering that as well.
And so knowing that the 11th was on a Sunday, we kind of rearranged things so that Rock the Park is on Saturday night, and so that we could actually have this processional on the 11th. And so far, that's worked out. It's gone pretty good, and we're expecting great things again from Rock the Park, of course. And there's a great group involved in that.
Absolutely.
Another thing I want to talk about, we're talking about great things happening in Louisville. Last year, Louisville was put on a video. Ricky Lee came in, videoed all of Louisville, and it's out there on YouTube, and it's entitled Looking for America.
Wow.
And that's what he wrote his song about. He loved the way Louisville was so patriotic, that we have our flags up. We are so warm people. And the combat vets came in, and they did all this video, and we went to a football game. The kids were just ecstatic because they all got flags. They could go down on the field. He interacted with the band and with the audience. It was just so exciting. And to see Louisville up on the big screen at the Palace Theater.
Oh, that's cool.
To see we are on this video, and we're hoping that it will really take off and be a great thing for them.
Very much. Awesome. All right. Well, it's clear that the Constitution Festival is way more than just a community of fireworks and elephant ears, although it also includes all of those
yes,
things.
Good things.
Do you have a website where people can get all the information?
Yeah, our website is just LouisvilleConstitution.org.
There you go. Going to be fun. Can't wait. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Joyce Hudnall and Pat Fallett. Thank you both so much for what you do for our community.
We appreciate you having us. Thank you.